Hey, welcome to another episode of the Critical Beard Podcast. My name's Robin the Cardinal.
So I'm the meatball.
This is the Meatball, and we're here to give you a bunch of gabbing on some games. We're going to gab down pretty hard.
Welcome to Gabtown, population us.
Nice. Sweet. So, Totes, we're going to run you guys through a segment of ours. We like to go to a little game. It's called What You Playing? And so, what you playing?
I hope you keep that voice the whole time.
All right, cool.
What am I playing? Well, I'm still playing through Les Xenogears.
Les Xenogears.
It's a French game. Les Xenogears. Actually, it's not as much playing as I'm in the part of the game where it's mostly reading right now. So,
Les Gears of Proto.
I am reading Xenogears right now. It's great. I love it. I'm also still playing the Animal Crossing.
I've heard of it.
It's pretty good. It's crazy how popular this iteration has become. Like there's
it's always been kind of popular, but it's always been very niche popular.
But you've never seen like celebrities and stuff going on YouTube and playing Animal Crossing.
I feel like it's always been kind of like on the same level of Fire Emblem, where it like comes out and then like the niche crowd that loves it just like consumes the shit out of it, and then the other people are like, "Why do you like it?" And they're like,
"But now it's like, this one is the big breaker." So
dude,
hopefully,
it's dripping of zeitgeist, brother. I just want to taste it.
Oh my god! I thought I was supposed to be the hipster using words like zeitgeist.
We both are really douchey, so it's fine.
But yeah, I hope now that like this new one has reached such
astronomical heights.
Like the next one, hopefully they fix all of the tiny dumb little problems that I still have with the series.
Drag and pick up. Please. Just some quality. I don't even care if I have a little.
I just want some quality of life stuff added. That's it. The game's perfect. Like just quality of life stuff, and I'll be happy.
Let me weave a basket that I can carry around and pick up things at like extremely fast speeds, or in clumps, if you will. Do you want to pip up these clumps of apples? Sure.
Clamp.
Or what about a thing where once you shake a tree, all of them fall in the basket? Boom.
But what if you don't want them in the basket?
They're in the goddamn bag. That's what it's for. Okay.
No.
Just go with it.
Anyway, I kind of gave up on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I don't blame you. The first one, right?
Yeah. which is really funny because I started playing it and I was like, man, these side quests suck. And then like I saw on this article pop up on my phone was like it was like just this news, just breaking news was like all the terrible side quests in Assassin's Creed were put there in the last very, very last phase of development because the higher ups were like, we need some padding. And I'm like, oh.
It's the classic Ubisoft padding.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, how appropriate. I'm playing through Assassin's Creed going, my God.
Which is so weird because Ubisoft has never been known for padding before Assassin's Creed. Like Prince of Persia and Rayman and shit. Like
it was all real.
Those were like linear, like short games. Like
and then the company itself was just like, we need stuff to do.
We found the pads.
Put them in, hurry. So I don't know. I might go back to it one day, but or I might just like go on YouTube and watch like a 2-hour movie of it and then move on to the sequel. Whatever. What you playing?
I'm playing a little. Playing a little Chrono Trigger, on the old 3DS because
I've never heard of.
It's a good game. I would recommend it.
It's okay. Like 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's alright.
It's fine.
Fine.
And then playing. I know what I forgot. Star Wars Jedi Outcast.
Is that the one they just released on Switch?
It's the one that was originally on like Xbox, the first Xbox and the GameCube and shit. It's like Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast or something. I never remember
Star Wars games confuse me.
They have the worst naming convention.
They have the worst naming.
Here's the thing about Star Wars. Here's the thing about Star Wars and the names of like movies, video games, any of the media is there's always a Jedi or Force or something in the title that is just very like just something. Star Wars Jedi Force of Knights. Like it's just they're all the same name, so it's so hard to keep up. So
I totally agree.
That game is basically, if you want the elevator pitch for it, it's basically Doom, but then halfway through Doom you get a fucking lightsaber.
I downloaded it when it dropped on the Switch because I'm like, that looks cool, and I played a little bit of it. I'm like, this is boring. I never played it.
The worst part of that game is the first part where you don't have a lightsaber because it's a weird FPS like early 2000s FPS, but like none of the that's not super charming, and like the AI is terrible, and the game's like there's no good signposting. But like once you get to the point where Luke trains you in the ways of the Force, then it becomes a third-person action adventure game. Spoiler. Oh yes, spoilers for a game that came out in 2000. Yeah, but anyways, that game's good, and playing a little Xenoblade Chronicles on the old 3DS because I want to compare that with the new game, the new release, the definitive edition coming out Friday for the Switch, the Nintendo Switch, and I'm just really excited to be here, and just really excited to talk about video games, John. That's pretty much what's going on with me. I want to compare and contrast. I think it's one of the best intros in video games. I really like the beginning where you're the guy and you're killing a bunch of mech-on. It's really cool. What do you think? There's any news on the docket today, or what's going on? You laugh at me, John?
Well, apparently, I'm getting this in, John. We're both named John.
We're both John. Hold on,
they always name John. Apparently, I'm getting this right. A television show.
We're gonna start another show called The Johns, and we're just gonna talk to each other like TV hosts. We're gonna do news, but like really really old news, but like pretend it's new. We're gonna make like a lot of like Borat jokes.
Oh yeah, those hold up.
My wife. Okay, so yeah, that's what we plan, and now we're gonna talk about the news. Hey, can you pull up the news on the docket?
Hey Jamie, can you pull up the news?
James. James. Get the news.
There are a couple of Johns to do about it, James.
So looks like there actually is no news today. I'm sorry, John, and I apologize. And James quit, and Jamie also quit. So we don't have a Jamie or Jims. Maybe we'll hire Jamothy. But there is no news. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. I'm getting reports of there's possible leaked information about Disney Plus creating a Kingdom Hearts television show in CGI.
CGI? That's wow. Better than CGI.
Yeah, CGI, and it's actually being created not internally by Disney, but internally by Square Enix. This is a developing story, and kind of got me thinking, John.
First of all, Square's developing it. I don't have a lot of hope.
Hey, bud. Okay, listen. Advent Children was a movie. It was
passable, and things happened in it. Okay, Final Fantasy Spirits Within, there was stuff.
It was not a Final Fantasy stuff, but it was stuff.
No, I disagree. I felt like that movie was adequately Final Fantasy.
All right, you need to calm down,
dude. I will die on that hill, on the Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Okay.
There is not a lot of people on that hill, sir.
Nope. That's why it's gonna be easy to defend.
Not a lot of people coming in.
Just like kicking people out down the hill. Get out. My hill.
People, you bring that up, people go, "Oh yeah, that existed." I saw it in theaters because I was like, "Yeah."
Me too. I still have my T-shirt, my Final Fantasy Spirits Within T-shirt that I wear sometimes. I got that from the website, the Square website. Like if you signed up, like before, like when they started teasing the movie, if you signed up, they're like, "Thanks for believing in us. Here's a T-shirt. This movie's gonna flop terribly, please."
Which is funny because Final Fantasy is in itself, because that movie was so not about anything like in particular, but also that's kind of what Final Fantasy is in general anyways. I think it's because there's if they would have just thrown like a chocobo and a Moogle in there, it would have
Seriously,
been fine.
I think that was the only thing really missing from the movie was like those small connecting brandings that they do.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any.
No airship, no Moogles, no Cochobos.
No chocobos.
I used to call them Cocobos because I used to think that's how you pronounced it. So Mako, I used to say I used to call it Kokobo, Mako, Eris, or no,
Ares. I said A. I still say Ares.
I said
Air. Name is
Aries. I said Aries as a kid.
How does it feel to see you dumb?
Red X.
Red X. Red XII.
Red X. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, there isn't a lot of things I was right about. Turns out.
So adaptations, it's really hard to do adaptations in general.
It is
to movie, but I mean they're doing this TV show. We've had lots of popular or successful adaptations. We got the Castlevania, and we got the Witcher. Which I mean, the Witcher is kind of a
Castlevania is the best by far.
It is. I mean, the Witcher is almost kind of doesn't count because it takes a lot more stuff from the books.
It's like it's more of the books.
It has more of a pre-established universe. Yes,
they're pulling the aesthetic from the games, and they like the voice and shit.
Yeah. That's very true. But I mean, what would you think would make the best video game TV adaptation?
Damn. I mean, I just wasn't prepared for that question at all. That's
I know.
A real blow to the balls, sir.
Yeah. Throw them curveballs.
Just right off the top of my head, I would have to say a Zelda.
A Zelda.
Oh. A Zelda animated series. Now get behind me on this, and don't get too excited. Just get behind me, but stay further back.
Do that?
So Zelda, Netflix. So I'm gonna. So Zelda animated series, Netflix exclusive, starring Elijah Wood.
Pitch me, bro. Pitch me.
Okay. So the voice of Link, played by Elijah Wood.
So a talking Link. Interesting.
Maybe sometimes, because just wait. The voice of Zelda, Felicity Jones.
Who's Felicity Jones again?
Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
The main chick from Rogue One.
My least favorite part of that. All right.
She had a good British. Should have a good whatever. Sure. So anyway, that's like the least important part. So an animated series for Netflix. Zelda, just The Legend of Zelda.
The Legend of Zelda.
Netflix original series. Blah blah blah. Yeah. And each season has a different artist and different director, and every season is a different game, basically a different aesthetic. And so they actually bring out and each season is done by like these different seasoned animators, essentially. So like you have one that has like more of a Ghibli style, like they do like the Breath of the Wild season-esque, and then another one is more like Celtic-esque. That's then one's like the more cartoony, like the Wind Waker season. Then you have like the old like 90s cartoon looking one that would be like the Link to the Past season. So you kind of have these different seasons. And so it's kind of hard to really pin down like a creative, like a director or, any real specific details. But yeah, I think that could be a really cool series.
Like, I feel like a show has done that before, but I can't put my finger on it. But they like bring in different directors I know a lot of TV shows bring multiple directors in.
There's some TV shows where every episode is like a different.
But like style-wise, like changing the style every season. It's a cool idea though.
Yeah, I think it could work really well with the Zelda, and of course, maybe some seasons he does talk a little, maybe some he doesn't. Maybe some seasons are literally just like subtitled, like just to make it feel like more old school. I don't know. It could be kind of cool.
Elijah Wood though.
If Link, yeah, I mean he kind of seems like he would do a good Link voice. I don't know.
I didn't like it at first, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? That actually worked.
Because he's got that youthful, like he's grown, but he's still got that like youthful but old kind of older young kind of voice.
He's an old boy.
He's an old boy.
He's an old boy.
Some actors should make a movie called Old Boy.
No, they should remake a movie called Old Boy.
Yeah, and there should be a hallway fight scene.
Yes, 5 of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, what's that's one that you may have. You have maybe a recommendation that you may have not thought about till
Off the
right
top
now?
of my head. Off the top of my head.
Off the pop of my head.
Off the top of my pop. Metal Gear Rising. I think the main series those would just work better as movies, if anything.
Mm.
I would think I couldn't think of a good casting for Raiden, honestly. I'm just like, what the hell? I can't, because it has to be pretty. You know what I mean? He has to be very feminine looking. Couldn't think of anyone.
There's someone. Ooh. Get back to me.
I couldn't think of any casting for Raiden. Do you think can you?
I'm trying. There's someone on the tip of my tongue that.
Oh, you want me to ask you later? Okay.
Yeah,
But like an episodic style, like not like a continuous story, not like a serial story, but like have it take place
because
after...
it's like the funness, dumbest.
Yeah, it's
like,
the funnest, dumbest Metal Gear. You can still have all like the references. You can have all the weirdness of Metal Gear, but you don't have any of the baggage. You don't have any of the because after Rising, it's just like I'd want to put like after Rising, so like Jack Raiden's just free to do whatever he wants, and then it's just like
free
have like episodic, just like random adventures of very violent. I don't have any animated stuff on my list. I'd like to see everything in live action because why not? It's 2020. We have the technology to make live action stuff look good.
I just think some stuff just works better in like with animation. I think Castlevania is like a really good
because it's so Castlevania is so if it was realistic, it would be pretty expensive because like of all like the Gothic architecture and all the Gothic buildings and stuff. But Metal Gear Rising, I mean, whatever. Like
I would watch. That would be good as a TV series, just because it's like this week on Metal Gear Rising, Raiden runs on missiles and fights a dog.
just like a dumb, violent action, like with some comedy thrown in.
Yeah, like get the creators of Deadpool in there.
Yeah, make it fun. You know what I mean?
Or not the director of Deadpool, like because he'd be great for like some just like fun writing and really gory shit.
Yeah, super gory. Yeah, make it be like HBO super gory,
No,
rated R.
No, I don't think so, man. Not HBO, bro. I'm thinking Showtime.
Definitely Showtime, bro. I don't even think like do TV shows even have ratings, but if they do, rated R. Obviously, you can't have
rated MC
17, right? That's what it is. I haven't watched
MC13.
I haven't watched a lot of TV the past like 15 years.
I don't even understand. I don't think ratings even a thing anymore.
I don't think so because
we're in the age of the internet where like to view anything horrible, you literally just type in any number as your age. How old are you, guys?
I was born in 1908.
Don't you dare lie to us.
Yes. Let's see. Yeah, I couldn't think of any casting.
What about a director? Oh, we just sort of pinned down a director, I guess.
Yeah, either the
Johnny Deadpool was his name, right?
Johnny Deadpool, or I don't know.
Oh, you know who'd be good?
John Woo,
the Scott Pilgrim guy.
Edgar Wright.
Yeah, Edgar Wright. He'd be a great.
Yeah, he would.
He'd be a good one to do that with.
Yeah, actually, that's good.
He's real good with action. He's really good with like funny
real good
shit.
With action and music. He tends to marry action and music really well.
Edgar Wright would be a great.
Yeah.
Speaking of
some crazy J-pop metal stuff, and then synced perfectly with Raiden ripping apart robots.
Yeah. No, I dig it, brother. I dig it. Speaking of Edgar Wright.
Oh. Edgar Wrong.
I have one. Mass Effect.
Mm.
That has nothing to do with Edgar Wright. I just terrible transition. Speaking of Edgar Wright, space. Am I right?
Space.
Yeah.
He did make space.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. See?
Sick. Burn. Nice. So this is gonna be a live-action Sci-Fi Channel movie.
Like Babylon 5? Oh, movie? Oh, a TV movie?
Oh no, limited series.
Or
No,
yeah.
it's just no. This is gonna be a straight-on show. It'll be like Fringe. This is gonna be like that's
sure
on
it's not?
Sci-Fi, right?
No, it's like Babylon 5.
Yeah. So Ridley Scott is the creator of the show. He's behind the scene.
Showrunner.
So it's going to be a Ridley Scott / Denis Villeneuve, however the hell you say his name, project, with scoring by Hans Zimmer.
We just played every Hans Zimmer song.
Yeah. So, and here's where the interesting thing is. So I noticed that I played through Mass Effect, especially the first one, just because that one blew my mind. It would follow the story of the first game. As you have Saren as the rogue. That was I always thought the first game had the best just straight narrative, because you had that main bad guy, and then you fought him at the end, and it was kind of over it, but there was more to it. But Saren was such a cool bad guy, and he was an alien. What was the name of that species? Been so long since I played Mass Effect. Damn it!
I don't know, man. It's been a long time myself.
But here's the thing: so you play that game, and my biggest issue with Mass Effect, throughout all of it, was I always thought the acting was always really, really good, and the characters were always really, really good, except for Commander Shepard and Mail. His line delivery was always a little weird and cheesy. Yeah. But if you actually start the game as Fem Shep,
every time I ever played was Fem Shep.
She's
Jennifer
the better,
Hale, man. Jennifer Hale is
character.
Yeah,
she's a better actress. So I think, and there's such a strong pull for her as a lot of people saying she should have been on the covers, this and that, because she was a better actor in general, and just sold the role better. I'm gonna go Mass Effect show, Sci-Fi Channel, complete Fem Shep, and we're gonna cast Emily Blunt.
Hold on, I got to great casting, by the way. I got to get on Twitter and complain about this.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, they're coming out. They're gonna be like, I'm tired of these fucking SJWs trying to cast my Mass Effect movie, taking my male actor away. Hey, buddy, he's not canon male. He's just on the cover as that. Exactly. So Emily Blunt as Fem Shep.
Good choice.
Garrus, the best bud. I'm only casting.
Garrus is the best bud.
We're only casting the main three. Garrus being played by Doug Jones. Abe Sapien.
Okay.
All the monsters in Guillermo del Toro movies and shit. But Abe Sapien and Hellboy.
Yeah.
He looks. But see, here's the good thing about Doug Jones is either way, even if they go bodysuit, they go CGI. He can do both, because he can do motion mocap. He can do either way, and he's got he can do different voices. He can do an American accent or a British. He's whatever. And then as Saren, the bad guy, who's also the same race as Garrus, he's the defected Spectre, right? That's what they're called?
Yeah, the Spectre, yeah.
The defected Spectre, Andy Serkis, would be playing Saren, the bad guy. And what's great about this casting is both of them can be either way, be in a bodysuit, be in CG, can be either way. However, how much money does they want to throw at this thing? I think it'd be cool. It'd be a pretty cool thing.
So it would be a retelling of the first season at first. Yeah.
First season would be the first game, and then if they tanks, it tanks. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Oh. Actually, getting some breaking news again here, John. Yep. I just got breaking news that Meatball has another show idea to give us. Let's hear that. Let's go to Meatball right now.
Hi.
the delay from the.
Yeah. Yes, I'm here, John. Metroid.
Like it.
Live action.
Love it.
Serialized. So it's all going to be hour-long, like, episodes that blend all in together.
I want some more of it.
You try so hard. Can't rise above it. Adventure. Horror. Think like Mandalorian meets Alien. Because she never takes her... Thinking like by the end of the first season, she takes her helmet off. And even Super Metroid has like almost has like a... I mean... The more I think about it, it's like Super Metroid is kind of Mandalorian anyway, because it's like this bounty hunter
he goes to kill a thing, and then
she ends up following her, and like they
saves her life.
They create like this mother-daughter thing, and I'm just like, wait.
It saves her life by using its superpowers.
So it's like, dang, this kind of writes itself. But but yeah, I mean, come on, it basically got adventure bounty hunter show with horror elements. Casting, I mean, there's not exactly a lot of characters in Metroid.
Samus.
I would want to keep it pretty sparse in terms of like, I wouldn't want her like
Space Pirate
like,
number 4.
Like meeting other bounty hunters. Like I think the only other cast member should be like other bounty hunters she might meet among the way. I mean, of course, Ripley. Ridley? Is it Ridley or Ripley?
It's
Ridley. Is it
Ripley? No, it's Ridley name, but it's from Ripley from Alien, but it's Ridley. Because
like
that's so confusing.
Yeah, like the director.
Yes,
it's so confusing. But yeah, like the only like and maybe like her. Oh, look at that,
Ridley.
Like her ex CEO from the Federation. Like pretty sparse casting. I couldn't think of good casting for her though, or I just didn't have enough time. I didn't think of one.
Why not Emily Blunt?
I mean,
she's a really good like stoic female like.
I'm trying to imagine her with blonde hair though.
Brie Larson. She already cosplayed. She already cosplayed as Samus.
But I don't really like Brie Larson. I've only seen her in a couple of things.
Emily Blunt's a better actress.
One of them being Scott Pilgrim, and she was blonde. Funny enough. But yeah, that's it.
Nice. I always kind of saw Metroid as being kind of an animated series, just because obviously that would be that's more tangible, I guess. I could see that actually happening.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Like with things like Zelda or things like Castlevania, they have such like a large world that like to throw money at to make would be a lot. But
I guess with
something like Metroid
being so sparse.
Metroid.
Yeah,
I can see Metroid being like very close claustrophobic environments most of the time that could be done on set. So
what if it's all POV? It's just
like it'd be like, no, dude, that'd be perfect. Make like a Metroid Prime series, but like get the director of Hardcore Henry.
The guy who did that movie Chronicle or whatever. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do it.
What was wrong with you, man?
I'm just kidding. Josh Trank, he like ruined. Isn't that the same guy who ruined Fantastic Four even worse than it already was? It's the same director. He was gonna do the Boba Fett movie, and then like he got in a huge fight with like everyone that worked on it, and they were like, "This guy sucks." Josh Trank, that's his name. Nailed it. I feel pretty good.
Feel pretty good about it. You have any more?
So I do. So I have an HBO miniseries. being created by Guillermo del Toro, music done by Danny Elfman, a BioShock series.
Sounds like your wet dream.
I mean, tell me. I mean, Guillermo and Danny Elfman, they should work together more often.
Why haven't they? Actually,
because let's be honest. Like Tim Burton's a pile of trash now, so like he should Danny Elfman needs to move on to a better director who's still got some creativity. Shots fired. But yeah. So I'm thinking it could either be the first game or it could be because. Obviously Infinite has the actual characters that are established real characters in the story, whereas the first one is more just a random dude.
I don't know if the first one would really work because the main character is such a
So my idea it is BioShock Infinite, because there is more stories you could kind of explore in that.
Everyone would want Rapture though.
Everyone would want Rapture. We're not going to give it to him.
The show's gonna flop, dude.
We may go there.
Because they went.
I don't know. Because I think Rapture. The whole point of Rapture 2 was it was more survival horror, and it was more creating the fear for the player, and then creating that whole the big twist and everything was all very much something that doesn't seem like it would work very well in a show.
Plus because the main character is purposefully a non-entity. You know what I mean? It's purposefully just this.
Yeah, he's
this
perfect.
confused blank thing.
Yeah, he's a complete blank canvas, and he's even more blank because you never actually see what he even looks like. You see your hands. That's it.
That's fine, but the character itself, he has no real character attributes. He does what he's told. that's his character trait.
I think that they could do a lot with BioShock Infinite because there's so much character to Columbia where they could actually tell some cool stories, and you actually have Booker DeWitt, and I have him. Huh?
It's a good name. Booker.
Yeah, it is. Someone should name their child that.
Yeah.
So I have him Booker cast as Chris Pine.
He is.
He's good.
What's his face, right?
Yeah, Star Trek, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Star Trek,
Yeah. I think he's a really good example of a kind of he's a good everyman kind of tough guy, Nathan Drake style dude, but he's also
he's kind of scrappy.
He's got the scrappiness, he's got the kind of fun side. I could see him sky hooking through the sky going come on, princess, or whatever. Even though she's not a princess. And then an actress named Lucy Hale to play Elizabeth. Now, if you probably don't know who that is.
Sounds familiar though.
She's had a lot of cameos. She was in the show Pretty Little Liars with Nolan North, but she's the main character in that show. If you don't know who she is, just fucking IMDb Lucy Hale, and if you don't think she looks exactly like Elizabeth from BioShock,
I don't believe you. I'm gonna do it right now.
Do it. She's the perfect casting for that, and she's actually a pretty decent actress. She's just never really been in anything great.
Right.
She has those big eyes. So their hair is the same length most of the time. I don't know. She just pulls it off already.
Gigantic eyeballs.
But yeah, I think it could be a lot of fun with Songbird following him around and shit.
It would be nice because you'd get to the end of the first season or whatever, you get to the end of the Infinite storyline, and then at that point you have this multiverse opening.
Yeah, and it could be a thing where the next season is the original game or whatever. They even go backwards
with a twist.
Because technically Infinite takes place in 1917 or whatever. So that game could be first in this timeline and still so people be oh man, they're not even going to talk about Rapture, and then Rapture season 2.
Or they they kind of tease it throughout the season. At the end it's
teasing
seasons.
So do you have any other shows that might work from one video game type thing?
Well, I got one that I've wanted.
I've been saying stuff backwards a lot. I've been saying so casting for Booker, we got Chris Pine. Instead of the Chris Pine casting at.
Wow. Are you sure you didn't get hit in the head with some hail?
Hey John, this just been Robin Friend actually just quit this podcast, and he's leaving. He's walking out the door, and he's gone. What's your show?
Oh man,
it's too bad. He had a lot of writing.
Too bad, John. Too bad. Had a lot of writing on it. Hope I'm the best. I've wanted this for a long time. Final Fantasy 6 or 3 miniseries. I'm talking like when miniseries used to be like an hour and a half long each episode, each volume.
Miniseries used to be an hour and a half long.
Yeah, I want I basically just want movies.
Yeah, I mean,
so this is kind of
the only ones that are still that way are like the Sherlock.
Yeah.
The Dracula, that new Dracula show or whatever.
I kind of miss that kind of like,
because each one was a mini movie, like a movie.
They stopped that like in the mid-aughts, and it's like, why?
It's because people's attention spans are garbage.
Idiots. You're all
idiot jerks.
Idiot jerk face.
Jerk off, jerk wads.
So 3-part, but 90 minutes each. It'd be perfect. Be like the end of part 1, Battle of Narsh. Terra turns into the Esper. Into part 2, Kefka wins, and then part 3 be perfect. Casting. It's got a big cast. You know,
this is gonna be a very expensive.
Very
show.
Expensive. Terra. Summer Glau.
Okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, she's got that whole like chosen
like,
one thing.
Yeah, she just kind of looks. She just looks like, I don't know. She looks like when I think of Terra, I think
you kind of
like
this chosen look.
or like when I think of Terra, Terra has always been like this, like she's quiet but powerful. But it's like someone who like you like. Oh, she's such a quiet, but like she could like destroy you. I'm like, oh,
the first time I ever
seen
played
Firefly.
that game, I was like, oh, she's Dark Phoenix from
X-Men nerd.
I don't know.
She wasn't though. You're wrong. Locke. I can't pronounce this guy's name. The guy who played Solo in the Solo movie.
Oh, okay.
Alden
Ehrenreich. Yeah.
But yeah.
Alden Ehrenreich or whatever I think is his name.
Ehrenreich. Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds very Nazi.
I don't have enough German in me to pronounce that. I'm sorry. But him as Locke, figured he has like
enough German in you.
Edgar and Sabin. This one I kind of like flipped back and forth. I was like, I know. Edgar, Chris Hemsworth. Sabin, Chris Evans.
I can deal it.
Yeah,
I can deal it.
They already have such great chemistry together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of, I couldn't figure out which one to do which. So
you
they could easily be.
You need a cape boy and a punch boy. And one of them looks better than cape, and one of them looks better punching.
You're not wrong.
What about Cyan? Who's playing Cyan?
Josh Brolin with a mustache.
I love that has to be specified.
Well, I'm just
Josh Brolin. Everyone's like,
what?
Like, with a mustache. Oh, got it. Okay. So
just imagine Josh Brolin, like black hair, ponytail, sweet mustache.
Nice. I'd be okay with it.
Celis. I was thinking like Celis, like a young Nicole Kidman. Would go good with Celis.
I could do it.
Mog. I'm Danny DeVito, obviously. Mog. I mean, let's be real. Is there anyone else who can play Smog?
I mean, it's the funniest part about that is originally
in the commercial.
Originally Detective Pikachu went for a Danny DeVito style character, and that's in the Detective Pikachu game. That's like more what he sounds like. He sounds like a ripoff of Danny DeVito,
like Bob Hoskins.
But then when they were making the movie, they thought that would be less charming. That they wanted to go with someone a little more charming, and they went with Ryan Reynolds. But like, yeah, originally he was supposed to be kind of, and it's funny because Pikachu and Mog are like the same fucking thing.
Practically
so
thing.
it'd be That'd be really fun.
And I don't know if you remember the old Final Fantasy 3 commercial when like Mog is like um, um, doing auditions with all the monsters for their role in Final Fantasy 6. But like he talks like freaking Danny DeVito, like he has like a Brooklyn accent. So it's
I'm all for
Mog
it.
has always had a Brooklyn accent in my head. So I'm like, who has the best Brooklyn accent? DeVito.
Is this an intervention?
Setzer, Tom Hiddleston.
Okay.
So
So just the Avengers cast.
I figured they already have plenty of
Rapport.
yeah, they already have plenty of rapport, and they've already done like action adventure stuff like this before. Strago, Sean Connery. He's always been Sean Connery to me anyway.
Yeah. That's pretty straightforward.
Realm. Couldn't think of a lot of Realm. Like maybe like a younger Ellie Fanning. Ellie Fanning?
Who are you talking about? Who's that?
Remember Dakota Fanning?
Oh, her sister.
Her younger sister.
Whoa.
General Leo. I mean, Idris Elba. Duh. I mean.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Bannon. Ron Perlman is Bannon.
Dude, it's funny. I almost used Idris Elba and Ron Perlman in my Mass Effect casting because I was like, man, Saren and Garrus are both really tall, and so I was like, what if one of them could be Idris and one of them could be Ron Perlman? I just could have been Saren and Garrus could have been Ron Perlman as well. Like that could work too, just depending on how but I just felt like they were a little too wide. Like they weren't like slender enough.
Gaunt insect-like
that's
creatures.
Funny.
Shadow. Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I'm in it.
I couldn't really think of one for Gao. I like. It's got to be young, scrappy kid with a good face.
Let me see your face quickly.
Cover your face with some dirt. It's all right. And I could not pick one for Kefka. I just couldn't.
I mean, just go Mark Hamill, man.
I know. It would have to be young Mark Hamill, of course.
Well, we've already time traveled in other characters, so why not him?
It's almost like he's like not tall enough in my mind.
So
Kefka,
because in the game, I don't know, is Kefka that tall? I mean, you can't really tell. It's hard to tell if anyone's tall.
I mean, in concept art, he's a pretty.
Yeah, I guess so. He's like a slender.
He's a long, slender fellow.
Joaquin Phoenix.
We're just gonna name off Jokers now.
Just anyone who's played the Joker. I mean, these people have done great jobs at being insane. Like, why not?
Insane clown people. I love that band.
If we're already going with we cast Hemsworth because he's good at wearing a cape. We cast,
or maybe even like Jim Carrey. Honestly,
no, I would fight you to that one. He would ruin it if you. Kefka's the most important role to cast in this whole movie. Their show.
Yes, I don't know because it's hard because it's like he has to be because he is like Kefka is the heart of the entire game.
See, to me, Jim Carrey's just a little too like slapstick. I don't think he's enough.
Have you not seen Number 23?
Oh yeah, I know he's been in serious movies. Have you not seen Sunshine of the Poo Poo Mind?
Have you seen Sunshine of the Poo Poo Mind? Didn't think so.
But I also did see Batman Forever, so I don't want that. I don't want that to be Kefka. Who's really good at being insane? Honestly, Tom Hiddleston could do a good Kefka.
Yeah,
probably.
I don't know.
But then you'd have to recast.
No, he'd be easy to recast.
Yeah. What about Sid, man?
Oh, the terrible Dr. Sid.
Oh, you can't just. You have to cast Sid if you're gonna make every Final Fantasy has to have a cast Sid.
John Malkovich.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with it.
Well, yeah, Gaston.
Okay, I need Go-Go.
I forgot Gestalt.
Oh yeah.
Gestalt. Gary Oldman. Duh. I mean, if you want a great actor who's old, I mean, just pick Gary Oldman. I mean,
Just do it.
you can't lose.
That's why like Hosea in Red Dead, it's like Gary Oldman.
Yeah, whatever. He's not gonna do a bad job.
No. Kefka. Gary Oldman.
Yeah, whatever. Just put Gary Oldman in there. Actually, he should just play all of them.
Gary Oldman plays Gary Oldman in Gary Oldman's Final Fantasy VI.
Gary Oldman.
What about the fuck? What the fuck's the snowman's name?
Oh,
Bigfoot guy. Abominable guy?
Yeah, I forgot his name.
What's his name? No one ever used him because he was like the hardest thing to use because he just had one move. Go-Go. Who's Go-Go?
Go-Go.
No one grilled anyone on like all the casts of everything else, but I'm just grilling you on.
There's just so many cast members in 6. It's ridiculous.
Same with Mass Effect, but like you could have.
Yeah, but like Mass Effect isn't an ensemble cast. It's like
there is like a main character, whereas in this in Final Fantasy
like there's mainer characters, but like everyone has their spotlight except Go-Go.
I just want to know who Go-Go is.
Go-Go played by Steve Carell.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's
do it. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
That was easy.
And the Abominable Snowman played by the guy who played the Mountain in Game of Thrones. There it is.
I'll take your word for that.
Yeah, he's just a big guy. Okay. He gets in a snowsuit.
So like we've talked about our dream TV video game. And now we've seen one successful like Castlevania. Like what do you think? What made Castlevania so successful? Like is it just like adherence to the aesthetic or to the characters or to the world?
I mean, personally, I think it's understanding like being. I think it's like a homeboy who's directing Metal Gear movie. Like I think it's there's very key to being a huge fucking nerd of the thing that you're adapting. Because if you're not, because even like
you look at it more like a product than something that is to be enjoyed.
Yeah, and like so, if you look at something like even Lord of the Rings, which that trilogy, in my opinion, is great, but like, I know Christopher Lee, like, because
he didn't, he was like, not a fan.
Peter Jackson,
he'd always drill on him, yeah.
Well, yeah, Peter Jackson was like he considered himself a pretty big nerd of that shit, he's like I love Lord of the Rings, I'm gonna make it, but Christopher Lee was so much more of a nerd than he was that he would be like, you want to get this part wrong, and he would like, that was a terrible Christopher Lee.
Yeah, that was that. I was like Christopher Lee as Dracula.
Gandalf. I don't know. Anyways, Gandalf the White. Give me a day. I'll come back to it. But he even, like you got to be passionate. You got to be super nerdy about the thing that you're doing, or else like people are going to poke holes in it like hardcore. Also, it's just gotta like, you gotta have quality like actors, and you have to have quality people working on the product, or else it's not gonna be a good like.
It doesn't have to like follow it. It doesn't have to follow it beat by beat.
Everyone's up for interpretation. Video games are.
Yeah, because by its nature, you can't like it. Like video game movies haven't really learned this, but like you can't do a 1:1 translation because it's impossible. Because it's like 20 to 50 hour experience. You're gonna like 1:1. It's like Lord of the Rings again. It's like there's no way they could have just taken the book and just 1:1 made it into a movie. That would have not worked. Like that would have been a 15 movie saga. Like. That would have just not existed.
There's stuff you got to leave out, even at the fear of people going, "They left that out."
Yeah.
But what's cool about something like Castlevania is that it does exist in this nebulous zone that is where it's not a linear, like straight on story. It's just a bunch of different things, and that's what works really well for it. Is it's like they took their own story. They kind of took Castlevania 3's bones.
Yeah.
And, the characters who are in that game, Alucard and Trevor and shit and Sypha, and they just sort of kind of made their
Pirate
own
guy.
thing with it. Huh?
Did they include the other guy? Forgot his name. I haven't watched the new seasons yet.
What are you talking about? The when from Castlevania 3?
Yeah.
Like
I forgot his name. The little guy.
the little guy that like has the knife and shit?
Yeah.
No. Not that I know of.
Hmm.
He's just like not in there. And then of course Sypha from the games, it was an old man mage, but like in the show they made her like a chick, and it like that actually it worked really well because
It's a nice juxtaposition to everything else.
well, just a little more like makes the show more colorful, and she's also just a really good she's a really good like anchor for Trevor, and then just the voice actors in general. Like you have like Trevor's played by Richard Armitage, who played Thorin Oakenshield in the Hobbit movies. And I know a lot of those movies people don't think are great, but Thorin probably
He was the best.
One of the best things about
him and Bilbo were the best parts of those movies. That's it. They could have just cut out everything else in those movies. And what'd you say?
And Smog.
He's okay. I didn't hate his Smog, but it was all right. It was fine. It's fine.
But yeah, those should not have been split into 3 movies.
Yeah, again, adaptation problems.
So I do have a bonus one.
Oh, you cheater!
I thought of it last
You're
minute.
a cheater.
Are you ready? It's
hit
short
me.
one. Earthbound, claymation, Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson. Boo. Boo.
He would be perfect for Earthbound.
No, he would
He's
not.
Like,
No.
It's not your adaptation.
Elevator pitch denied. Ground floor. See ya.
Well, I guess you're not a Wes Anderson fan.
Actually, I like most of his movies. I just don't think he would fit with Earthbound at all.
What if he was to collab with someone, like say, Edgar Wright?
He should just do everything. Edgar Wright's amazing.
Okay, I take it back. Edgar Wright, claymation, Earthbound. Is that better?
Okay, Edgar Wright would work more. He just has more of like, I don't know. You need to have like.
I guess Wes Anderson's a little too like earthy and not enough like. He's not enough like out there like the alien shit and all the like sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, like Wes Anderson, he's way too like quirky, but in like his quirkiness doesn't mix with Earthbound's quirkiness, I don't think. But Edgar Wright, because he has such a deep, nerdiness to what he does. Like, yeah, I could see him.
And
the
he's played.
Quirkiness in Earthbound is like.
I mean, I think Scott
definitely
Pilgrim alone like shows that he could probably do something. He could make something that seems like it would make a terrible movie and make it like actually seem like it's actually pretty good. Yeah, or all of the movies he's done.
Well, he was supposed to do Ant-Man, but they kicked him out.
Oh, that's right. He didn't.
Something happened.
I
He didn't
thought
like the script or something.
He did, but he's still credited. He did like write it still. He's still credited in the first Ant-Man as like the screenplay or something. He's part of it. He left his director, but he's still credited as like at least like partly writing that movie.
He should have directed it.
Probably. It's still a pretty good movie though.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. But imagine all the visual things he would have brought to.
Imagine the visuals. I just saw this too today. What was it? Scott Derrickson, the director of Doctor Strange, is making a Labyrinth Part 2.
My face.
I mean, that's one of those things where you hear a bunch of words and then you go, "I'll just see what it is."
Yeah.
Because that dude's a really good director.
To me, it's one of those things that's like, I don't want that. But it might be good, but I'm
Jim
not.
Henson's dead and David Bowie's dead.
Well, it's like, was it the The one that just came out.
You know the baby from that movie is dead.
Weird. What happened?
I don't fucking know. Just made that up.
I'm that baby. No, Dark Crystal. They did a Dark Crystal sequel series. I didn't want to watch it because I'm just like I don't want. It might be good, but I'm all right with not seeing it.
Yeah, it went over my head too. I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, plus, I was never a really big Dark Crystal fan.
I'm gonna say this.
Their faces always freaked me out.
I'm gonna say this, and as a person who I absolutely loved, like Snowpiercer, I loved like Dark Crystal, I loved a lot of these things. They're making way too many TV shows out of stuff that probably didn't need to be a TV show, and that's why that's why we're talking about today. That's why we're here saying no. I'm saying all of these games we talked about today would be better, and I think more people would be excited if these were announced than these things that were like movies, like one-off movies, supposed to be one-off movies. Yeah. Because these games, a lot of these games are big series, or
they have a lot more setting to explore.
There's a lot there. Mm-hmm. Whereas like for me, like Snowpiercer, it was just like this beginning to end. Really awesome, well-made.
I find it weird that they're making a series movie about it. I'm like, wait, what?
And I'm like, wait, a series about living on a train? Man, come on.
It's topical.
Just stop it. We're all on a train, man.
We're all on a train together, man. It's like eat the rich, right?
It's about like social commentary on
probably won't get it.
The class.
It's like It's like classicalism or something. I don't know. I read on Wikipedia.
It's classicalism, and it's classicalisms, and it's so classic. Thanks you. Where were you at, Mark? Where were you when I just roll the thing? Mark. Enough. Thank you for watching another episode of the Critical Beard Podcast. I have been Robin, the Cardinal Friend, who can't pronounce shit. And this is...
I'm the meatball.